Buongiorno. Alright. How are we? Morning. Or afternoon, actually, as it happens, by about 3 minutes. Not F1 World Chess, I don't know why I've done that. Welcome to Tuesday's stream. Today, plan is F1 driver career around Zandvoort for the Netherlands Grand Prix. Then the season finale in the realistic Road to Glory. Benny, thank you for subscribing for the 32nd month. You, sir, are a hero. Mercy Bucket. In fact, you, sir, are such a hero, we shall make you an honorary VIP. Le Bosch. Afternoon, Brandon. How are we, sir? Mason, thank you for the follow, mate. And Ross. Appreciate it. Thank you for following whilst we were offline. I forgot that it was going to fucking rain in this Grand Prix, if I'm honest. Fuck my life. Right, we're not going to waste any time today. We've got a lot to get done, so we are underway. Welcome back to the F1 24 driver career. You join us at the seaside. Although, unfortunately for the race, it isn't a sunny seaside. The Grand Prix today will start in rather torrential downpours as it happens. I'll start that again. Thank you, Tom, for the 11th month, mate. Appreciate it, dude. Don't worry, Tom. It's not a problem. Welcome back to the F1 24 driver career here on, well, F1 24, I suppose. We are at Zandvoort. To the seaside we go today. However, it's not necessarily a sunny seaside for the Grand Prix, at least on Sunday. We start in torrential downpours, probably a full wet tyre. Then rather solid amounts of rain for probably half the Grand Prix before it then dries up. Quali's dry though, practice is dry, so we won't necessarily run anything other than a dry setup all weekend. The car is improving, albeit not at a rapid pace, but we're getting there. We should have a couple more things on the car by the next Grand Prix in Italy for Monza. Obviously, last time out in Spa, a power track, we did very well. We came second. I know! So we shall try and replicate that in Monza. Spoiler alert, not really going to be able to do that in Zandvoort, I don't expect, with it being an aerocentric circuit and our car being very good in every aspect other than in its aerodynamics. So might be a painful one, but hopefully we can do as best as we possibly can and get some more points for the team. We're very close to going up 2 places in the Constructors' Championship, and I'm right behind Carlos Sainz in the Drivers' Championship too, so would love to get above him if possible today. Charles Leclerc retired in the last Grand Prix, so it's a comeback tour for him as well. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come and join me live, either on Twitch or on the YouTube streaming channel, and you'll see every lap of every session we do, and every session we do starts with practice. Let's fucking go. Spa, we finished second, Tom. It was phenomenal.
The shores of the North Sea, which brings its own challenges with sand sweeping onto the track. Welcome to Zandvoort, welcome to free practice, and welcome to a sea of orange.
Logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts on the car, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Yeah. Liam, thank you for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel, pal. Just gonna load the Netherlands setup we have here, but I want to double check it with SRC if you'll bear with me for a moment to make sure that we are set up correctly. That actually looks like it might make quite a bit of sense. Right, I think we're set up. Let's go do the track acclimatization on the old hard tyre. It should be, I'm imagining it will be a wet to medium race. I don't know as we'll really touch the softs in the Grand Prix itself. Depends, I guess, how long it might even be wet to hard, how long it takes to dry up. Speedy, thank you for the follow, mate. W Speedy.
Okay, your goal is to get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well.
Oof. Doesn't like that traction zone. No car I've driven around here likes that traction zone. Yeah. Running less downforce here than I would do ordinarily. In the F2 cars, we run significantly more downforce than we're running here in the F1. So it's going to be intriguing to find out whether going lower downforce works as a method. Okay, I tried to take that with just a lift, but no, I do need a little dab of a brake in there. Then hit that. Oh my god, she is shaky at the back. Might need to tweak the downforce slightly. Definitely gonna need to tweak the downforce slightly. I might prefer a little bit more as it happens. The only thing is, I don't want to be too slow then in a straight line. And I'm competitive.
DRS zone coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD.
Might just be the hard tyre, but I'm envisaging it not just being because of the hard tyre, as we know this car by now. Really weird undulations around that final turn, isn't it? Where the car just kind of goes. Porpoising is pretty nuts around the banked curve. Zandvoort's a really fun track to drive, yeah. Really fun track to drive. It's just not, I'm not necessarily rapid at it. Come back, teammate, come back. Oh, sounds like Elmer fucking Fudd. Elmer Fudd. Zandvoort, evidently, at all. We might need to put a bit more downforce on in it. Fucking Norwiches. I think I just need more downforce. Yeah, it's not working. Just need more downforce. Hello Zach, hello Millie, how are we both? Bear with me, I'm gonna go... What's the... I'm running considerably more downforce now. Let's see what happens. Jesus, everybody's on track at the same point. All good, thank you, Millie, mate. Appreciate it, dude. Hope you and Mrs. and little one are good. He's probably not that little anymore, to be honest, is he? Roger, roger. Due to be 6 months old on Sunday. This coming Sunday, which is remarkable to me. Oh my god, everyone's coming out the pits. Hi, Beer. Thank you, Beer. The oldest nephew's getting his GCSE results today, on Thursday. Yeah, no, I've got nephews like that as well. And they go, oh, so-and-so's Off to university next month. And you're like, sorry, what? Can't be allowed. They're not even in primary school yet, as far as I'm concerned. We're much lower down in the speed trap now, after adding all the downforce. Gone from 6th fastest to 14th fastest. You got me in such a flow with this circuit. It's nuts. I want to concentrate so hard just on a fucking practice session. It's gonna be a long race weekend. It's like 5'6" now, to nearly as tall as you, and he's gonna get a lot bigger. It's not allowed. Height isn't necessarily your strong point, though, is it, Millie? You're about what, 5'9"? You excel in wit, intelligence, generosity, kindness, but height, not so much. Steady. 5'8" or 9, and tallest in your family at the moment. Wow. You sure your surname isn't Borrower, not Millwood? How dare you? Oh. The rear tyres.
Program complete and a job well done.
Still 12th.
We got some excellent data with that run, so
Millie gives
come on
great
back to the
hugs,
garage
though,
and I can
according
take
to
you through
Jack.
the
Oh, really?
numbers.
Don't know, have I ever hugged Millie? Shaken hands, but not hugged, I don't think. Those hugs being around the waist, yeah. Millie nuzzles in your belly button. Captain of his youth rugby team. Yeah, makes sense.
Because temperature's so important for your
The half
tyres,
makes all the
cool down
difference,
laps
does it,
are now
Benny?
vital after a push lap, so
Half
that
an
we
inch
get
is
right
important,
up the
although
rubber
not
too much.
necessarily on height.
Not to mention recharging the battery.
Oh, you shared a room with Jack at TwitchCon, did you?
We need to be sure we can manage the tyres through a lap, so try to keep the wear down through each corner. Be especially careful accelerating on corner exit.
But that was an experience. Just. And very much only just. Yeah, London last year was an experience, wasn't it? Oh dear. Plate certainly made a reputation for himself. I don't know what happened this year. Hiding fucking pizzas under a table. Ridiculous. I'm gonna go and do a quali run, I think. Just to see where I am. Which is probably fucking nowhere. Take every quarter inch you can get, never mind half. Okay, round she goes. That was weird. Fingers crossed, Millie. Why is so loose around there? What the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. Just done countless laps of this circuit and not lost the back end there once. Maybe on hot lap, we've got to be especially careful about the rear tyres. apparently. There's too much power for the rear axle to cope with. It's not a great lap for a quali lap, that. 198, but it's not really reflective. There's definitely another 3 or 4 tenths in that lap, I think. Yeah, 109.1 from Fernando says everything, doesn't it? FC career mode will be about 3 o'clock, Bomber.
What an incredible practice session that was. But the
What an incredible practice session that was. Oh, I didn't do my specialist, did I? Fuck's sake. And 12 championship points. Banging. Guess who's not going to get fucking 12 championship points? Done that one already. Bugger. Serves me right for not paying attention on the way in, doesn't it? Just don't forget to change your goddamn components, Jez. Practice all done. Significantly worn components, but still a little ways off the pace for my liking. Lots of resource points in the bank right now, which is great. They are getting more and more expensive as we progress through, and obviously with my reputation being as low as it is, I can only upgrade in one area at a time per department. So having that amount of resource points backed up will be good when it comes to protecting the car for next season, which is what it feels like Ferrari didn't really do last year, which is why we're in the predicament we are this season. There's nothing else I can do on the chassis side. The roll dampers are in the process of being done, and basically we're in the lap of the gods, or the lap of Charles Leclerc moving forward there. There's nothing else I can do on the engine side either, and there's nothing else that can be done on the durability side either. So it's purely just a case of doing one aero upgrade at a time when we've got the ability to do so. So that will pass before Monza, so we can either do front wing end plates or the DRS slot. And hopefully we should have enough resource points by the time we get to there to be able to, should we be able to, which we won't unfortunately, to have done multiple upgrades at a time. But sadly we won't have the luxury of doing that because my reputation isn't high enough. For good reason. Charles Leclerc is my teammate, and quite frankly, Charles Leclerc is significantly better than me. And despite our DNFs, the driver standings will tell you that exactly, wholeheartedly, explicitly. He is 3 times apparently the driver I am right now. Although he's only had 2 DNFs and I've had 5, but still, he's kind of won 3 races and been on the podium a further 3 times, and I've been on the podium just twice. So, yep. He's just better than me, but hopefully we can qualify well enough. This is going to be another 11th or 12th, isn't it, really, let's be honest, if not lower than. But with the tricky conditions in the race and maybe a little bit of strategy to utilise to our advantage, perhaps we can pull something out the bag here for a decent finish.
It's a quick track.
Let's see what lap times everyone else is doing first before we go out. We did a 198. They were doing 197s in practice. 194, 193. Okay. We'll go out once, and hopefully it'll be enough to see us through, but it might not be. Basically. Aiming for a 195 or lower.
We've dropped to P20.
Fucked it already, good. Late on turning, straight into the wall. .109.6 is not superb. Not superb is probably the phrase I would use. Oh my god, they're into the 1 minute 8. Whoa. Yeah, we are not anywhere near that fast. Christ. How in the F word are they there? That's absurdly quick. Could probably go out on the same set, but with the rain that's coming in the race, we're not going to need the extra tyres, and we're quite frankly probably not going to get through to Q3 anyway, so might as well just use new sets the whole time. Jeez, 1 minute 8. Christ, how are you supposed to compete with that? How are you supposed to compete with that? That's absurd. Who isn't going out? Lance and Lando are using a third set in this session. So it's just the front three that are in the 1 minute 8s that aren't going out again. No surprise.
Okay, when you're ready,
Bloody
let's
hell.
go.
Rain confirmed for the race, Tamiku, yes. The AI are good around here, are they? I can't remember how we did last year. If we can save the set and not complete the flyer, then I will, but I'm absolutely certain we're going to have to complete this flying lap.
Right, we're right on the cusp now. We've been pushed down to P11.
Got a wheel spin on exit there. It's going to cost me all the way down this part of the track. I don't have to complete the lap because I'm through, but only with the skin of my teeth. With the first lap I put in and the second lap I put in wasn't necessarily much quicker. P13 in Q1. I haven't put together a seamless or even really close to it lap yet, but they're into the 1:08 at the top end, and I just do not have that in me. I've maybe got a 1:09.3 perhaps at a push. I am well out of touch with those front five, that's for sure. Not even close to them. Any hopes of a podium here are very much not with me at this particular moment in time. The AI are very strong here. Again, though, we said that we expected this. It is an aero-based track, and this car has absolutely diabolical aerodynamics, so we'll do what we can to try and get through to Q2, to Q3, but don't expect Q2 progression here, please. It's almost certainly not going to happen. I'm on controller, Mad Gamer. I need to update that command actually, don't I? Because of the new wheel, but I haven't used it yet, so as of this moment in time, that command is correct. Why though? Well, that time on worn tyres was faster than my time on new tyres in the previous session, so there's definitely time in the lap. It's true, it was probably my cleanest lap. In the 1:08 again? Fucking Nora. Fucking Nora.
set. We're ready to go. So
Hello,
let's get the
Wilbone.
car out onto the track.
How are you, mate? Good. Yeah, all gravy, thank you, mate. It's a really tight pit exit, isn't it? Christ. Only Lando isn't going again. The fuck? That keeps happening at random points around this lap. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. The car just gives up. It's like, now it's just like, now I'm going round.
Drop to P11.
Of course I have. Well, we're going faster. It's going to be my fastest lap. I said I felt like I had a 109.3 in me. I think that was a 109.1, and of course, it's P11. How many times have we been 11th or 12th this season in qualifying? It's remarkable, really. I maybe should have Sergio Perez's number 11 on the car, because it seems to be my in-game favourite number. We are, well, 3.5 tenths off my teammate, 6.5 tenths off Fernando Alonso, and 1 tenth, less than 1 tenth, 3/4 of a tenth behind Sergio Perez in P10. So maybe there was a Q3 performance in there, but it would have to have been a perfect lap. So all you can ask for is to put in your fastest lap at the most recent lap, and that's exactly what we've done. And we've improved with every run we did, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough to see us through to Q3. So in the rain, and surely it'll be full wets, not inters, we find out what happens next. %35% will be manageable, but it's also not great around Kota, to be honest, Tom. Yeah, this rain is going to be intriguing to say the least. Hey up, IB, how do? Now then, Huzzy. It's race week IRL. All good, me doctor. Love to hear it, mate. Love to hear it. I'm not live on Sunday. I need to... Oh my god, that is wet.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit. We're 25 miles away from Amsterdam for today's Dutch Grand Prix.
I need to switch
It's a
the
race the great
schedule
Jim
because I'm
Clark
now
won on 4 occasions,
not live Sunday but live
leading for
Saturday
an
rather than vice
astonishing
versa.
total
So we'll
of
do a watch along for quali for
370
sure.
laps. It's time to see how our drivers
Well,
are stacking up
qualifying
after
was
yesterday's
dry
exciting qualifying
throughout,
session.
and
Max Verstappen
Charles
put in
Leclerc
a
has been on
fantastic
pole a
lap
couple of times
yesterday,
recently,
and
but
he'll start from pole
again, as
position.
we reiterate, this is
Fernando
not a track
Alonso
that
completes
suits
the front
this
row.
car, and
As
even
we continue
the
through
90 plus
rest of the
rated
grid
Charles
today,
Leclerc
we
can't
have
put it on pole this time
Leclerc,
around. Third
Norris,
only for Charles,
Stroll,
which is
Oscar
still a
Piastri,
remarkably strong showing
Russell,
considering the
Perez,
competitiveness of the car. Looks like I'm going to be
Hamilton,
P11 then because
Wood,
no one's taken a
Magnussen,
penalty in the top 10.
Hülkenberg,
Sainz
Ricciardo,
is the man that I'm trying to finish
Joe,
ahead of on this
Ocon,
occasion to get above him in the
Gasly,
in the drivers'
Theo
championship.
Pourchaire,
But quite frankly,
and
Yuki
Yuki
takes a
and
penalty.
alongside me
Quite,
in the
I mean,
commentary
look,
box today, former racing
this track
driver
is
herself,
next
Naomi
next
Ship.
to
Now,
the
you're
North
racing
Sea,
driver
but at
in
the
this
minute,
partnership, so
I think
tell
it
us-
feels like it's going to be in the North
Mate,
Sea.
that podium last time out was great. I know you got a trophy, but hey, I got a little bonus. So let's do more of that, please, this weekend.
Yeah, I'm starting P11, mate, in the monstrous wet. So no podiums this time around, I'm afraid. It's recommending I run 6.5 laps worth of extra fuel. With this much wet running, I'm going to take some of that out. But it's 5 laps. Is 5 laps worth of extra fuel going to be enough? Surely 5 laps worth of extra fuel is going to be enough. I'll put 5.5 laps worth of extra fuel in. I mean, everyone is going to be on the full wet tyre. I imagine it will go wets to inters to dries rather than wets straight to dries. But judging by the intensity of that rain and the forecast, it's going to be wet for a while. Right, let's give you guys a prediction. Last time we said, will we get a podium or not? This time I'm going to say, will we get top 7 or not? Starting P11, can we go 4 places further? I'll leave you with that prediction whilst I just go and have a final toilet break before we start racing. Thank you, VPR, for the follow, mate. Fingers crossed we will get the switch in tyres correct and maybe the odd undercut here or there, and perhaps we can make a number of positions. But having to run so much fuel, the car's going to be really heavy, which, to be fair, in wet conditions might actually help. Back in a minute. is ready to go for a swim around around Zandvoort, because that's what we're going to end up doing. Have to figure out whether we're going to do the butterfly or the backstroke, I think, more so than anything else with regards driving a bloody car. Oh, let's see which way you guys predicted. 65-35, basically. 15 of you reckon I'll get P7, and 6 of you reckon I won't. 6 of you have gone harder per person. Actually, no, it's about the same. Well, let's find out. I think a few of you will probably make a sizable amount here. I don't have any faith.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're loading the gears, so let's go through them all if you can.
It's so wet. You just know the AI are going to have OP traction.
Lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
You know the AI are going to have OP traction and just leave me behind everywhere. Grip is non-existent, Zach. Non-existent. Prove it to you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's how non-existent the grip is. I wonder if it will show me, actually, if I look at the steering wheel. So, oh, it's not showing the. I was seeing if it was going to show the. What were the tyre temps like? Seeing if it was going to show the. Their tyres are slightly warmer than mine, 28s and 29s compared to my 27s. Seeing if it was going to show the fuel load. Well, hopefully you guys are ready for a swim around Zandvoort, because we're going to be butterfly stroking our way around this Dutch circuit very shortly for a little while. Did just tell me that the rain is easing, albeit not very quickly. You can quite visibly see how hard and fast it's coming down. The AI tends to be extremely strong in traction zones in wet conditions, so I'm very much expecting to go backwards before we do any potential going forward. Oh, Jesus Christ, Carlos Sainz! Oh, God! Any potential going forwards, warning for a collision with Hamilton. Somehow, I've basically been able to maintain my position there. I've lost one to Magnussen, but that was nervy, wasn't it? Christ alive. Sainz nearly dropped it. I got distracted as hell. I nearly rammed into everyone else, and Valtteri Bottas at Hungaried everybody out the way. Their traction is very much stronger than mine in the traction zones and in a straight line. I was nearly spinning out all the way down that bendy straight. This is... Ooh! This is going to be a very, very... Can I get back on the track, please? A very, very difficult Grand Prix. You know what? Fuck this, I'm starting again. sweet lord. I don't get why their traction is so much stronger in the wet. It's stupid. Right. We're going for a swim in Zandvoort now, and I think the stroke of choice is going to be butterfly. Everybody moving across the right-hand side to cover. Lewis and Carlos Sainz getting out of shape there. A very early break for turn 1. Just trying to hang on in these early stages. Still P11. Lewis getting out of shape. I've got car on my inside there I've got to be wary of. That's the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. Slamming on the anchors into the banked curve. Trying to give Kevin's... Can I have some traction? Any traction at all would be lovely. Fuck me! Traction, please, for the love of God. Oh, you could be at 20% throttle and the car just spins. I hate driving in the wet on this game. It's very, very poorly made in that regard. It's just such a different experience for the user as it is for the AI. I apologise to you guys and to editor Chris. Ready for the shit butterfly stroke pun joke again. Here we go. Supreme Gracie, sorry, in Red Camp, thank you for the follows. I apologise for the shit show you've just witnessed for the past 5 minutes. Here we go then, at Zandvoort, in the torrential rain. There's not even any sort of racing line whatsoever at the minute. It's going to be a relatively early break for turn 1. And no power. No traction. Kevin's just driven clean up the inside of me there. The AI are renowned to be very strong in wet conditions on this game. As I'm sure you're aware. I'm at nowhere near... Oh, Jesus. It's just fucking impossible. You cannot drive in a straight line on this game. In these wet conditions. What is happening? I'm so sorry. I physically cannot do this, apparently. The start in the worst driving conditions we've ever raced in on this game. Starting P11. There's a bit of a gap in front of me just opened up as others try to cover the inside. Registering as P10 right now. Carlos Sainz apparently doesn't care that I exist and swerves straight into me. Thankfully it was wheel to wheel, not wheel to wing, so no damage from that. But really struggling to get any sort of power onto the surface whatsoever. Cannot get the car to stay in a straight line, ever. This is going to be a horrific opening 50% of the race. It's not necessarily going to be about maximising position or even anything other than just surviving and still being on track when it dries out. I'm desperate for this to dry, as you can probably imagine, as quickly as physically possible. We are aquaplaning everywhere, in every gear, all the time. I'm surprised that they've not red flagged it or delayed the start, to be honest, because it's just diabolical driving conditions. I just can't get the power down. I'm wheel spinning in 6th. Trying to take this final turn is going to be basically an impossibility in these conditions. Somehow managed to make it work. I'm just going to have to get super defensive and try and hold on as best I can to whatever position I find myself in. Because I'm not going to make any inroads further forward. I don't have the grip to do so. Nor the talent either, as you're evidently aware. Well, 1 lap down. Thankfully, not 72 full laps of wet weather racing. We want this rain to dry up and super quick, please. Lewis is basically just going to be attached to the rear of my car until I make a mistake and he inevitably gets past me. Let's wait and see how long that takes, shall we? car is slipping absolutely everywhere at all speeds in all gears. Tell me about the weather.
So the rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful. Full wet seems like the best tyre for now. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Really, no issues with tyre wear at the beginning of lap 3? You don't say.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
It's going to tell me about dirty air about the car in front very soon, isn't it?
So the rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds. Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap, 5/10. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead.
There we go.
You're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Only took 3.5 laps. It's going to be raining for at least half the race according to the weather forecast. So they're basically going to be a full pit stop in front of me by the time we get anywhere near dry weather running. At least I'm not holding up an entire train of the whole rest of the grid. It's just Kevin and Lewis that are stuck behind me. Gives me a little bit of faith in the fact that I'm not a completely useless arsehole around this circuit in these conditions. Considering most of those cars behind have a better aerodynamic package than we do. Still able to at least kind of hold my own. There is a bit of a racing line emerging now, as you can see. But it is only a bit of a racing line. Desperately hoping for the rain to ease off.
I definitely think we need to stay on this
Although,
tyre a bit
evidently,
longer, and there's no
according to
question
Mark,
the track's drying.
it's not
Might
going
be
to
in a
happen
position to change
remotely soon. The rain is still falling very, very hard. I don't think there's been much of a let-off in the amount that it's raining. But you can see the gap in front is growing by nearly half a second a lap at the minute. So we have to pray that it stops raining sooner rather than later. Otherwise, we will finish 10th at best through no fault of our own other than not being able to drive in the wet the same way that the AI can.
And gap to the car in front, 2.6 seconds.
It will be quicker for me to switch to the inters, but I don't want to, like I say, as we said last time, I don't really want to abuse a game mechanic. I know what you mean, Ads. To trying to counter the overpowered AI with the inters, but I feel like it would sway too much the other way. Like, I feel like I'd be too strong in comparison on the inters.
Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 6.5 seconds.
I was kind of hoping my extra downforce would make me more competitive in the wet conditions, but doesn't appear to be the case. The gaps in front have kind of stabilised, but I think it's because they're stuck behind Lance Stroll at the minute. I don't know whether Stroll's got any damage or what's the issue with the second Aston Martin there, but he's definitely got a train forming behind him. Don't worry, Lance, I know how that feels. I've got a two-carriage train behind me, but I'm the engine. Ah! Don't mind me. I just did a little bit of running on the rails there. Quite literally turned into a train there. Right, excuse me, Kevin. I'd very much like to keep this position, please. I will run you wide. Well, we were closing on those in front. Now we're not. We've just lost the second there by that one mistake. It's just so easily done around here. There are a couple of curbs where you can just start skateboarding and not be able to get off the curb. There's that one that we made the mistake on, and then the outside of this one on the left-hand side, you can quite comfortably end up skateboarding on that and then end up in the wall on the left there on the start of the straight. It's very easily doable, and we'll try our best to avoid doing anything like that. Tyres are in a perfect window at the minute, so not thinking about switching to inters, even though there is more of a racing line starting to appear now. I think we'd still probably be aquaplaning, but we might not be more than 4 or 5 laps from intermediate tyres. I will set them as my next set on the MFD.
Okay, gap ahead, 3.8 seconds.
Just going to run in hot lap, see if that makes a difference. Probably won't, but You never know. Chat, you let me know when you think it's intermediate time. I'll ask about the weather in a sec. I think actually being in hot light is just causing too much wheel spin right now. Put it back down to medium. I'm thinking lap 11 or 12.
At the moment, just focus on the driving.
Still very wet in places though, isn't it, as you can see there.
Inters seem to be the fastest tyre.
Oh, hello. Inter seems to be the fastest tyre, he's just said. I'm going to box this lap then. Or are they just not going to box? If Inters are genuinely the fastest tyre and no one else is pitting, does that mean that it's just going to go straight to dries and we'll lose more than a pit stop's worth of time, or we won't gain back a pit stop's worth of time by switching to Inters? Some have boxed. Some have boxed. Let's double check, because the team would have this information, so will I. Nico Hulkenberg has gone to the intermediate tyre. We will do the same. Far enough behind Charles that it won't matter. It's intermediate time.
Looks like it's probably about time we change tyres. It's a bit of a crossover period for sure, but the longer we stay, the worse it's going to get.
Others aren't boxing.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Sergio Perez is, but others aren't. Lewis is pitting behind me. Perez has done it. Lewis has done it, but a lot haven't. Got held there for the Williams.
Okay, that stop was a slower time than we ideally wanted to see.
So a few have gone to
Up to
Inters.
speed now, let's
A
get
few
the both
haven't.
tyres.
A few waiting an extra lap or two. There's Nico Hulkenberg. He's gained loads of time on those Inters. Come on then, Nico. What have you got, mate? Hopefully. Not as much pace as me.
Radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10
The others are in.
minutes of this rain.
The others are in. 10 minutes of rain. So,
Charles is in
dry weather on the way.
now.
It'll be medium tyres we go to next. I'm not going to put the hards on at all. We will go to mediums next. I was much faster than Nico in Sector 1 and then seemingly lost all of that time later in the lap, but quite clearly Nico Hulkenberg just put in the fastest lap of the race, so that's why. Kevin Magnussen is alongside me here. He was the man that was right behind us when we boxed, and he's the man that's right behind us after the round of pit stops, though Lewis has just gotten himself in front of him. So that says to me that so far, not everyone has pit. Lando and Lance, the only two not to pit now. So they are losing a lot of time here.
Mate, let's be a bit more careful about where and when we use ERS, and let's try and be consistent as you use it moving forward.
Purple sector 1 from me though. So apparently we've got some good pace. Oh Christ, Nico, you were slow on the apex there, man. You ran straight to the back of him. And again, really slow around the apex. Okay. That might be because we've just got more downforce.
Make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
We are running a higher downforce setup to some of the others, just mainly because of the lack of quality in the car. I'm faster than Nico here though. We're losing time behind Hulkenberg now. Lando and Lance have boxed that last lap. Could really do with getting past Nico Hulkenberg here.
We're catching
But I'm
the
not
car
close
ahead. Well
enough.
done, but be aware, these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
He is slow on apexes. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and try and throw it up the inside somewhere. Because we're all getting held up here now. Myself, Lewis and Kevin. I think I know where I want to make the move. It's just a case of whether I can get it done or not. Not this one, but the next right-hander. I've ended up skateboarding again. Capture Soul is 6.6 right now. We're all starting to gather up behind us as well. Got to get past Nico Hulkenberg, but I don't see a way round at the minute. He gets the traction down better than me, so I'm not able to get a run into turn 1. Maybe now. Maybe this lap. Maybe this lap. I'm going to try. I'm too far behind. Or are we? Probably. I'm going to lunge. Hi, Nico. It's rude, but it is through. P10 back in the points. Past the Alpine.
Great manoeuvre.
Rubbing his racing. There was some wheel-to-wheel contact there, but it was necessary. I needed to get that move done. Sorry, Nico. It was a late lunge, but it was race critical for me. Very much so. Now we just need to get... Yep, now we just need to get the change to dry weather tyres right as well, and maybe we can close the gap to some of those in front. We should be more competitive in dry weather running than we are in the wet, that's for sure. I need to be close enough to make the most of that. Otherwise they'll just DRS train away from me and I won't have the opportunity to close down anyone. Fuel is dying, even in the really, really, really wet conditions. We used a lot of fuel. I'm gonna have to fuel save like crazy. How have we used so much fuel in wet conditions? That's absurd to me. We've got 4 laps worth of extra fuel left. We started with what, 5.5? We've used a lap and a half's worth of extra fuel in just 15 laps. How is it so fuel intensive in wet conditions? That's nuts.
Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
running crazy downforce levels though.
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
Yeah, because I made a mistake. Shut up.
Okay, gap to the car ahead. 7.4 seconds.
Nah, wet weather conditions should not burn fuel quicker. It just won't. You're at full throttle significantly less than you are in the dry. It just should not use anywhere near as much fuel. Fact.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 6.8 seconds. Situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Yeah, it's still raining. Track is still wet. We're not at the changeover point yet. Once it becomes dry, it's probably going to be a either medium soft run to the end or a hard only run to the end. And I'm leaning.
Running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
I mean, it's still raining, so not yet. But I am leaning towards going medium soft. The hard tyre didn't feel great in practice, and I'm sure I could earn a full pit stop's worth of time back. The medium tyres say they'll do 60 and the softs 40, so halve that, 30 and 20, and that's 50. That will get us to the end. So medium soft is the way for me. Medium soft is the way. With an extra stop, I just think it's the right call. I don't want to run the hard tyre for 52 laps. We are closing on Piastri and Stroll, but only because they're so close to each other and fighting and have been for the entirety of this stint. What the gap is to the next lot, I've no idea. We were 12 seconds behind our teammate at one point. I will ask when I get the opportunity, when the corners stop coming at you thick and fast, and see what the gap is to Charles, but I imagine it's grown quite considerably from 12 to probably closer to 15 by now. Still 12, okay, that's good news.
They're on old intermediates. They're currently 5th, and the time last lap 1 minute 19.6.
I've used 0.6 of a lap's worth of fuel in 5 laps. How? This is absurd. We're going to have to save so much fuel. This is going to be silly. Actually silly. How do you need? How are you using? How is my brain? How are we using 10% a lap extra fuel every lap? 10% a lap? That's absurd. Let's have a look and see what other fuel loads everyone else is running. So we'll be able to see from my wheel how much I've got. 3.38. 9. So they have gained fuel during the wet weather running, and I've lost fuel during the wet weather running. How is that a thing? They've got 8 and 9 laps worth of extra fuel. They would have started with the recommended, which is what it gave me, which was 6.5. They've gained fuel. I've lost fuel. How? I'm going to have to save about 6 laps worth of fuel. That's disgusting. I'm never going to make any progression forward at that rate. What's Charles is looking like in comparison? Because he's in the same car as me. 10. Cool story, bro.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 5.4 seconds.
We're really not far away from dry tyres now. The rain is all but finished. And the track will dry up very quickly. Might be, I'd say almost certainly, we'll be on dry tyres by lap 24. Oh my god, all my tyres are hot. All my tyres are so hot.
like the best tyre for now.
I'm not sure they are, you know. Do we make the call now? It's a yellow flag behind. It's stopped raining. I'm going to box this lap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Look how hot my tyres are. The rain has now stopped. I'm boxing this lap for mediums. It's dry. It's dried up so quickly. I'm imagining people will be in very soon. If they're not, they're idiots.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Is Max in? No, they're still going. I'm sure it's dry. I'm absolutely certain it's dry. Or dry enough. Look how hot the tyres are. 101 degrees. We're in. It's a gamble, but we're in. We are the first onto dry tyres.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect
Much better
job
pit stop
from you
this
and
time.
the crew there, mate.
Now we
You've
find
done
out whether
nice
that was a
for
good decision or not. I can't believe how much extra fuel we're using. It's absurd.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Last stop, I reckon I can go to the end on the mediums. Oh, it's so slippery still. Is it just because they're not up to temperature, maybe? I don't know. I can get them up to temp. Have I gone too soon? Come on, please, get up to temperature. Please. Oh, it's too early. Not by much. Not by much at all. Maybe a lap. My inters were just melting though. I had to get off them. Tyre temperature's coming back to us now.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that
Oh,
overtake.
Jesus Christ. And so follow Thicksil. Welcome to the channel, mate. Too soon. I mean, the track looks dry, and the tyres are nearly up to temperature. Everywhere but the front right, but oh, there's not much grip going on. As every passing lap goes by, though, our tyres will get better and better, but we might have just lost too much time for it to matter. And I've got 6 laps worth of extra fuel to save. Game over, gents.
Gap to the car in front,
Game over.
10.0 seconds.
We're praying for a safety car now. Even if, like, multiple VSCs or a full safety car. Fucking Nora. We're in. They're starting to box now.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Everyone's in the box. Everyone's pitting. But I feel we've done nothing but lose time.
Hulkenberg is into the pits.
They've gone to hards. They're going to the end on hards. I said that I didn't want to take the hards all the way myself. I wanted to go medium soft. Everyone else is electing to take the hard tyre 50 laps. It's an interesting one.
Don't forget, you've got more control than ever over your EOS mode, so play around with them in your MFD.
2.6 seconds behind Magnussen now. We were 3 seconds ahead of him before we boxed. And Lewis was right on our backside. He's now 6.5 seconds down the road.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Charles is in the pits.
Well, we need to make time and save fuel, and I don't know as the two of them really go hand in hand that well.
Great work.
Fastest lap of the race, though.
Fastest lap of the race.
I'm P12 right now, and having to save fuel at the end of every long straight is just going to minimise my ability to close the gap.
Okay, gap ahead, 2.7 seconds.
They're on harder compounds. They're on a harder compound, and they're pulling away from me.
The car behind's gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
How? How is it? How?
Okay, gap to the car in front, 3.0 seconds.
fastest lap of the race, but...
Okay, mate, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go.
How am I not catching them on mediums?
Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work. Starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds. Okay, I've got information on Joe for you.
I don't
Okay,
care
they're
about
slowing
Zoe
down.
Grenier.
It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far.
When did I put these tyres on? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These mediums will take me to the end. It's just a case of how fast they'll be at the end. I'll be close to 50% worn. But it's definitely doable.
Verstappen has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Now I've got two options here. I either commit to saving fuel behind Kevin and just sit and wait, and hope that my tyres last,
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
or I take Kevin and try and push on towards Lewis and then try and save fuel behind Lewis and hope that my tyres last. The mediums will take me to the end of the race, but they won't be very quick when we get there. Lewis is where the points are. So we have multiple options available to us here. Every option involves saving tyres. Sorry, saving fuel. There's no point doing the extra stop if I can't push, because I haven't got enough fuel. We will end up with an extra stop's worth of time behind us in the not too distant future.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
So I'm going to be in a position where I could get a free stop and not lose a position, but then would I be able to earn that time back again? I don't know. I don't know whether I should take Kevin or not. I might just save fuel till lap 40 and hope that we can close on Lewis in the meantime. If Lewis starts to pull away again, then I'm probably going to have to just commit to taking Kevin and get myself up the track and try and close down Lewis and then save fuel behind him instead. So we're in the midst of a really tactical battle right now.
Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
I'm going to take Kevin. I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it at the end of the pit straight, but I'm just losing too much time. Lewis has lost time. To be fair, the gap to Lewis has only stayed where it was because he had traffic to lap. So now we have to push really, really, really hard to catch Lewis Hamilton.
Nice move. Good job.
Really hard. Hopefully I can catch the back marker at just the right point that I get DRS. Which we may well do, actually. I think I might have DRS. I do. That's huge. I hope it's getting on Lewis. Way! Steady on. Fucking hell. Note to self. Don't check your MFD midway round the corner where you've got DRS active. Just concentrate on your driving in a straight line. Okay. Then check your MFD. 2.42 laps worth of fuel. And fastest lap of the race? Fastest lap of the race.
Work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 3.6 seconds.
Come here, Lewis. I need that DRS pelt. Please. lurking in the shadows, have you, Ben?
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Weather's going to be dry for the rest of the race.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please.
Yeah, Mark.exe has stopped working. Mark's just completely stopped working, he's bugged out. Good. Okay, no more from our engineer then on lap 40. Maybe, yes. Maybe. Thank you, High Upon 20 Clouds, for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel. Flashback has just fixed him, I think.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
DRS on Lewis next lap, I think. Feels at 2 laps. I didn't really use any DRS that lap. 30 laps to go.
Gap to your teammate ahead, 10.2 seconds.
My tyres are going to be starting to show some signs of losing performance very soon though, on that left hand side, the front and rear. We're in DRS range of Lewis. We have made it. I don't know how much fuel I need to save though, that's the thing. We have a free pit stop now. Behind to Daniel Ricciardo in 13th. So if we decide to stop for another set of tyres, we will come out behind K-Mag but ahead of Ricciardo. On the fastest lap of the race.
Fastest lap of the race.
So I can start to save some fuel behind Lewis. Then what I could do,
You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
if we feel like we'd be fast enough, is about lap 50 to 52, pit, put on some softs and push again. But we are rapidly closing on Stroll and Piastri at the moment, who are battling hard. So I'm now in a situation where I don't think the extra stop would actually, in the long run, be beneficial. I think I'm better off trying to save tyres, save fuel behind Lewis, as we close on Piastri and Stroll, who are fighting over 8th and 9th at the minute. And I think we might have the chance of finishing in the top 8 here. If we play our cards right, bide our time, and then go for it at the end. Oh. I'm going to have a quick toilet break, though. If you'll forgive me. That is going to be us, hopefully, pushing for half-decent points. I shall be back in a moment. Hey. Sorry, I just had to help out with Jude with something. How many laps up are we on fuel? Just under 2 at the minute. We probably need about 3 to 3.5, unfortunately. Ready, steady, ho-ho.
Pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance.
There's a safety car that comes out now. I'd probably still go to another set of mediums, I think. Only from about that 55 onwards would we consider stopping for
Let's use
softs.
overtake and burn off some of this energy. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap. Verstappen's just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, real life lap records are basically non-existent for the game because they're significantly quicker after a season or so. What lap did we pit on? Just so I can kind of figure out how far these medium tyres have gone. We boxed on lap 23. We boxed on lap 22. So from 23, so they've done 25 laps so far of their projected 60. I definitely don't think we put softs on unless we're anywhere near lap 55 because they just wear too much. It's just a waiting game now. Hoping to close in on Piastri and Stroll. Sainz is long down the road, annoyingly. So I'm not going to be able to improve my championship position. Even with any points that we might be able to get. We should get some points today, hopefully, if my tyres last. We're 25% on the left, and we're about halfway through the stint. So they are going to be close to 50% on the left-hand side, if not slightly over by the time we get to the end of the race, if we don't box again. I'm very comfortable, I feel like, pace-wise, comparatively to Hamilton and co at the minute.
We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
I am getting on with my race, but my race is a bit more complex than just drive fast, overtake people. Mark, whoop. I need to save fuel, I need to save tyres, whilst not losing too much time. So it's going to be easier said than done to just go and get around Lewis and take the position. I'm still sorely tempted to save fuel until 52 and then box again and just blast it. Piastri and Stroll have actually managed to hold the gap at the minute, so that we're not actually closing in on them anymore. My tyres are in such a state that if I were to just overtake Lewis and try and close them down because I felt like I had enough fuel left, I don't know as I'd be able to do it because my tyres won't have the competitiveness left in them. I'm going to have to make sure I stick within DRS of Lewis though, so forgive me for not much talking the past few laps, but we need to concentrate. Make sure we don't lose Lewis in front and then my tyres go off because I need to save the fuel. But I want the chance of a World Championship point. It's a really intense Grand Prix actually, with so much at play throughout so much of the race. Really unorthodox way to go about doing a Grand Prix, but hopefully it's an unorthodox method that leaves us with World Championship points at the end of it.
Make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
I'd be tempted to box 54 for a set of softs. And just to go hell for leather till the end of the race. How do we feel, chat, about that idea? Yes or no, boxing again for softs to the end on 54. Will give us 18 laps to try and make up a pit stop's worth of time.
managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
Then if there's a safety car, I'm annoyed. But the gap in front to Stroll and Piastri is now growing. I'd say at this stage, we're just not going to get Piastri and Stroll anyway. At the current rate. That's the wear. After 30 laps on this set. If Stroll and Piastri keep fighting, then we can catch them, but I don't know whether they will or not. I could definitely, I feel like I could definitely take Lewis. There's definitely, at this moment in time, a point on the table for us. But I'd only get fastest lap if I finished in the points. So I'd have to at least make it back to Lewis. I'd be tempted now to do what we did with Kevin with Lewis. Get the move done, chase after the car in front, and then try and cling on to the back of them. I think that's probably the play now. And we're going to have to just try and get past Lewis as quickly as possible now, after sitting behind him for a few laps and saving fuel. And then get after the two in front that are fighting. And try and see if we can't maybe get some more points out of this Grand Prix than just the one. Before my tyres go off and I definitely don't stand a chance of reaching the two in front. Because we're at 32% on the front left now. So we're going to be into the 50s by the end of the race. I'm going to go for Lewis into one now. Fastest lap of the race. And into the points. Right, 3.6 seconds. 3.6 seconds to Stroll. Can it be done? Maximum attack mode is re-enabled. don't know, Luke. But I'd rather have a go at trying to get the extra points and then save fuel at the end and just have to settle for one or none than sit, save fuel, and have a maximum of only one. We might as well try.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
I'll tell you fuel as we cross the line. Fuel as we cross the line is 1.44. Yellow flag behind. Safety car would be gorgeous. Not happening. I'm not sure what the yellow flag was for, to be honest. Too busy looking at the minimap. Oh, Alpine spun did it. And Alpine spun. 1.3, so using 0.07 a lap, we can push full out.
0.7 seconds.
We can push full pelt to the end of the race and we won't run out of fuel now. No more fuel saving needed. Just maximum attack mode, but that gap to Piastri and Stroll isn't coming down anymore. They keep going through stages of fighting and then stopping fighting, and then fighting and then stopping fighting. Trying my best to close that gap, but my tyres are definitely past their best. And Max Verstappen's just taken my fastest lap. And Fernando Alonso's just taken Max Verstappen's fastest lap. And I need to stop talking and concentrate on my driving because it's going to cost me any chance of getting a P8 or 9 if I just keep waffling on and making mistakes like losing the back end like that. So don't mind me. Tyres are gone. was a valiant effort. But our medium tyres just haven't lasted. Oh, I just lost all game sound, so that's lovely. Hopefully that's not just me. But I've a funny feeling it is, as my headset died. I just lost all game sound. You've lost all game sound as well. Okay, good. Lovely. Wonderful. Well, let's do a mid-session save then. That went well. Christ. As my tyres die, so does the audio. Can we get a... I'll try and get a thumbnail of me, because if I mid-session save and then reload, I'm not going to get the replay, because it doesn't save it, because again, really well made game. So let's get a picture for the thumbnail. And then we'll restart the game. Mid-session save, save and exit. And I'll reload the game. Yay! Good. Game's gonna game. Game's gonna game.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
You're right, but I'll lose out on like 50p on the YouTube stream, so it's fine. There's edible. There is edible. And we're back. So now that Lewis has passed me, my tyres are hating life. My options are to try and stick with Lewis and hope that either he makes a mistake or someone retires in front and we're able to nab a point or two from that. But my tyres are only going to become less and less and less competitive as time goes on. Or I could just box for softs and have fun for 12 laps and try and close Kevin down again, which is probably not going to happen. But I think I'll be annoyed either way if we decide to stay out behind Lewis.
Flag.
What's the yellow flag for?
Okay, clear.
Oh, I think it was just someone moving out of the way and getting lapped. Oh, I thought for a moment we could have just stayed where we were with a yellow flag, someone in front retiring, and I'd have gotten a point. Not the case. So, I mean, we're able to stick with Lewis at the minute. But whether I'm actually able to make the overtake or not is actually a different matter. But the longer we wait, the less likely we are of being able to get past Kevin Magnussen again. I mean, the fact that I'm still here with Lewis
Take button a bit more.
says to me, wait until lap 72. Try and use all your battery to overtake him into turn 1 on lap 72. And then hold on for a World Championship point for the rest of the lap if you can. And I think that's what I'm going to try and do. P11 for now with 11 laps to go. We are, at the moment, finishing where we started, but we hope to not do that. Thanks for giving Lewis DRS, Yuki. Very kind of you, mate. You better get out of the way for me, pal, I tell ya. Thank you. Just got to drive hard and clean and try and stick with Lewis. And there's still the promise of a World Championship point at the end of this Grand Prix. No retirements so far. This is the first time that's happened for a long time. Oh, we got to drive hard and clean and not make any fucking mistakes, you cunt! Well, we'll try the same thing next lap, shall we, as a highlight? Fucking idiot. Every time I try and do a piece to camera, I just lose concentration on my driving and just make a mistake. can see why we're not catching Stroll anymore. It's because he's been dropped by Piastri. There's a group of them up there, all tucked up behind my teammate at the minute. 3 or 4 cars in there. Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri. Oh, too busy looking at the mini-map. Pierre, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri and George Russell. So there's a reason why we're not closing in on Stroll now. Because he's not battling hard with Piastri and the McLaren has left him alone. So finally Oscar was able to get the move done and make it stick and open a gap. And hopefully they have a coming together or someone bins it or something happens. 4 cars that close together with points on the line in the final 10 laps of a Grand Prix. Someone might try something silly to try and make the most of a scenario. We're going to try and make the most of our scenario and get past Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to look to do it on lap 71 into 72. I want to take Lewis Hamilton into turn 1 on the final lap. It's going to be difficult to make that plan work, but I'll do everything I can to get it done.
Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 0.5 a lap. 0.5. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake. Managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
I have to make sure I've got enough battery to get it done when the time comes. Yellow flag. Not sure what for. I think it's a McLaren going slowly. Which would be wonderful if it is. It is. Oh! Lando Norris out of the race. Retiring from, I believe, the lead? That's not what I wanted. I wanted race director. Lando Norris retiring from P4. We're going to get a point. It's a case of, do we get 2 now from the back of Lewis Hamilton or not? Oh, Lando. So what we've been waiting for is something to happen in front of us, and it finally has, justifying the decision to stay out. Because if we'd have boxed, we might not have caught and passed Kevin Magnussen again, and as a result, we definitely wouldn't have gotten a point. But we definitely are now getting a point, because Lando's DNF'd. We will inherit 10th position and try and get 9th position off Lewis Hamilton by the end of the race.
Boost to fight other cars, check out the ERS mode overtake in your MFD. It's really effective, but drains quickly. Over to you.
Thanks for that information on lap 69 of 72, Mark.
Gap to the teammate ahead of us, 6.9 seconds. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
This is the lap we have to stick with Lewis. We want to try and overtake him into turn 1 at the end of this lap, starting the next lap. So I have to stick with him. With no choice. It's all or nothing against Lewis Hamilton right now.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some.
I'm gonna, but not yet. Probably gonna need to be within 6 or 7 tenths to make it work into turn 1. I've saved as much battery as I possibly can. Just need a good end to the lap. And then a good start to the lap. And P9 can be ours. Come on then. Has to be now. It's the only opportunity we will have to overtake. And we are going to go for it. Up the inside into turn 1 on Lewis Hamilton for P9 of this race. He's hanging it out around the outside. Going to force him wide. And have the inside line for this next part. He's going to eventually back out and we hold on. We're through into P9. Lance Stroll has now caught that group in front, being led by my teammate, as they're all battling very, very, very hard indeed for the points-paying positions that are in front of them, as Max Verstappen puts in the fastest lap of the race as he wins the race. Not worried about the gap to the car in front at the moment, Mark. It's the gap to the car behind that is quite clearly the one that we're concerned about. 2 to 3 tenths the gap at the moment. Lewis will have DRS down here into the tight right-hander, but we've got a lot of battery. Fuel is fine now. We've saved enough throughout the course of this Grand Prix. And we should now, provided we can hold on for the run to the line, which is further down the start-finish straight than you might like, for 2 World Championship points. It was second place in Spa. There's still a number 2 for us, but it's 2 points rather than second position. But they are 2 points that we have wholly, tactically earned. We had to save fuel behind Kevin Magnussen. We saved fuel behind Lewis Hamilton. We worked extraordinarily hard in that Grand Prix. If anything, I feel like I worked harder for that P9 than I did for the P2 in Spa. Lewis very nearly got me on the line. It was outrageously close in the end. So close, in fact, that I can show you it here. It was less than a tenth. I was 51.421 behind the leader. He was 51.505. 8/100ths of a second get us 2 World Championship points. Thank you, Lando, for retiring 4 laps from the end. You made all of the decisions that we made worthwhile in the end. Ta very much. I'm going to go and get myself a thumbnail, and then I'll see you back in the menus. Oi, oi, oi. My thumb's fucking dying, I'll tell you that much. I am further behind Carlos Sainz at the moment, unfortunately, in the championship rivalries. He managed to finish slightly higher up than me at Zandvoort, but at Monza next, hopefully our power unit will come into its own again and we'll stand a chance of closing the gap on Carlos Sainz, or maybe even overtaking Carlos Sainz. That is, of course, if it's dry. I'm praying it's dry for Monza. You know why we pray it's dry everywhere. You saw exactly why we hate the wet at the beginning of that Grand Prix. Just not competitive in the wet because the AI are too strong in the traction zones. It needs tweaking, really, by Codemasters, but whether we'll see a tweak or not, we'll wait and see. I have a new rival, do I?
This is the perfect opportunity to show the world why you belong.
No. They're the same rivals, my love. They're the same rivals. Right. Wheel room covers pass. It did. So I'll pause just to get an extra couple of days. So do we do front wing input? Well, already Charles Leclerc has done the DRS there. So I will do the end plates then. They'll be ready for Singapore. Hopefully that will give us a good boost. Once that's done, then we can do the next bit of the DRS activation as well. Can't do anything on the chassis. Can't do anything on the powertrain. Can't do anything on durability. It's all on aero for the rest of the season. Hopefully the roll dampers pass. They have indeed. That will improve the chassis for Monza. So as we head to the Italian Grand Prix, the car is supposedly the 3rd best on the grid. But we know how false that is. But Monza is one of the least aerodynamically intense circuits on the calendar. You run as little DRS at Monza as you possibly can. Similarly to Las Vegas. The weather is wet, but only for qualifying. A fully dry Italian Grand Prix. Praise the Lord. A fully dry Italian Grand Prix. So we have taken a tick up in the R&D process, but evidently the Red Bull is still the car to be in as Max Verstappen continues to win Grand Prix and finish on the podium very regularly. They were stronger at the beginning of the season, certainly, but they are the strongest car to be in at the moment. We'll use the ICE, and we'll just put all of the older parts in for practice at Monza. Obviously, you want as many fresh power unit options as you can. I might actually take a new control electronics at Monza, because if ever there was a circuit where we're going to be able to earn those places back, it's going to be here, really, here or Las Vegas. So, we got points in Zandvoort. I didn't think we would. We were able to. And points plural in the end as well. Thank you, Lando Norris. So join me in the next one for Monza, where, similar to Spa and Silverstone, we will be going for podiums and Charles will be going for the win. That's all, and obviously it's Ferrari's second home Grand Prix of the season, so certainly we would like to be strong. Drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more of this save. And, well, we'll do what we absolutely can for the Tifosi at Monza. I'll see you then. Holy moly, that was intense, chat. That was intense. Christ. Fucking hell. The Tifosi will absolutely be demanding a performance. Whether I can give them one or not is a different story. Let's send that to Chris, shall we? F1 S2 15? 15 Netherlands. We'll upload that on the... No, that's the wrong folder, Ches. Right. We'll upload that on the Dropbox for Chris. I do have 2 Football Manager episodes ready to go live on the YouTube channel, or the second YouTube channel, for tomorrow and the day after. So we'll get those uploaded as soon as. And then, whilst I have a quick lunch break, you guys can prepare for the season finale of the Realistic RTG, which is where we will be heading next on stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you were only here for the Formula 1, thank you for your support. Appreciate it very much. Is that finished, or was that binging at me because something went wrong? But I implore you, do stick around for the FC. It's going to be intense, to say the least, with so much on the line. A playoff spot for the fucking Premier League. More to the point. Right. I'm going to go and have some lunch. I might even just make it and then come back and eat it on the stream rather than eat it off stream, so that we get everything done today, because it's already 3:10. That race took longer to complete than hoped. So I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes rather than the 20 to 25. And hopefully I will see you back here in just a few minutes' time for the FC season finale. And then obviously we'll start thinking about what's going to happen in Season 6 and look for transfers. Appreciate your support on this part. I shall hopefully see